Good afternoon and welcome to FDN News. I'm Jonathan Kane.
And I'm Bree Santiago. Room draw stirred up controversy on Tuesday, and it all surrounds the Forester Village apartments. Several upperclassmen did not get into Forester Village. That's because underclassmen who were already living there were allowed to keep their apartments. Juniors who did get into the apartments did not get first priority in choosing their rooms. Instead, current residents received first dibs on the apartment they wanted. A handful of students told us they are frustrated with the room draw system. Dean of Student Development Jesse Brown told us several reasons why the school made this decision.
You've got some people that are out there already. They enjoy being out there. There's a benefit of being out there. That's one of the privileges, I guess, is you can remain if you want.
I think that has to be really frustrating for the people who are going to be seniors next year, who aren't getting apartments just because that one person squatted. These are people who, probably have heavier course loads, need more sleep, need a more quiet environment, and they have to live in the dorms again or find a different situation. As a senior, you're ready to make a transition out of college into like the real world. And I think living in Forester Village gives you that opportunity, and they miss out on that opportunity because people are younger than them are getting to live out there.
Brown says last year there was an unusually high amount of sophomores living in Forester Village.
The weather is continuing to warm up, and that means the frozen forest is closed for the season. When the ice skating rink first opened, some liked the idea while others questioned its purpose. FDN talked to the student who brought the rink to life to find out what problems it faced in the first year and what changes will be made for next year.
After an exciting opening event with the Fort Wayne Comets, the new ice skating rink on campus has been put away for the spring. After Tyson Kalschuk won the think tank competition, Senate gave him $700 towards the project, while he raised an additional $1,500 from donors. Although activities like hockey and broomball were played on the ice, it wasn't all fun and games.
I would give it probably a 7 out of 10. We had some obstacles. It was really a learning process this year, and we kind of expected it.
I think this year a lot of people weren't able to use it as much as they could have hoped because the weather was just so inconsistent.
However, there is no doubt that the ice rink was appreciated by several students.
To hang out with some people outside of the hall and just kind of play some pickup room ball, do something nice outside in the winter instead of just huddled indoors. So
it's definitely a select group that is going to like an ice rink, and we realize that, but it was a step forward for those people that do enjoy an ice rink and never had that experience.
There are several goals for next year that will hopefully make the ice rink more popular, including a fire pit and SAB events.
We also talked about trying to find a way to buy ice skates, so it could be utilized that way as well.
The plan is to next year move the ice skating rink to the tennis courts. This will provide lighting, a fence, and level ground. In return, the community will be able to use the ice skating rink as well.
There's going to be a water source within 30 feet where we don't have to call the fire department to come and help us.
Senate would also like to remind students that this was their decision.
Another thing to remember is that this is something that the student body voted on, so it was their choice.
While the ice rink may not be for everyone, next school year will bring new opportunities. Reporting for FDN News, I'm Kelsey Cruz.
We will keep you updated on when the rink will open next year.
Old US 24, the road where the Huntington Drive-In Theater is located, will soon go on a road diet. That means that one or more lanes will be removed from the highway. I talked to the city and found out the unusual makeover will impact both the community and our students. After looking at traffic statistics in Huntington, the city decided that it does not make sense to keep Old US 24 as a 4-lane highway.
Jefferson Street, which is the main highway running through downtown, is a 2-lane road. It's got 22,000 cars per day. With Old 24 only having 7,000, it only made sense to go down to 2 lanes.
The diet will also cut down the cost of road maintenance. Some businesses along the highway are concerned semi-trucks won't be able to back in with their deliveries, but others in the community say that there is nothing to worry about.
From what I could see at the meeting last night, it it looks like a good idea. The people with businesses were concerned, and that made sense, but every question that they brought up and every concern they had, the city was willing to look at it. The engineer was going to put it on the computer and see if the trucks could do the right thing.
Right now I'm standing on the side of Old US 24. Right behind me is First Street, a road that students like to run on but don't because it crosses into the 4-lane highway. Now there will be an 8-foot pedestrian path on both sides of this road.
The Redevelopment Commission has pledged about $3.5 million to put in approximately 6 mile of trail, which will tie into this trail that's on this road. It will create more pedestrian and bike traffic.
Students should be able to use the trail sometime in spring of 2016.
The HU Theater Department will be presenting a cyberpunk version of Romeo and Juliet this weekend. Director Jay Duffer says he is hoping this new version of a classic will draw in a younger crowd. But there will not be as many opportunities to see the show. HUTC usually performs 3 weekends in a row. This time there is only 1 performance weekend. Duffer says the decision will help make sure that there is a full crowd for his performers.
The style that we have is really sort of a cyberpunk kind of feel to it. It's a little futuristic in its approach. We have less weekends when we're running shows. It's not as controversial as it sounds. We're not doing it to punish the students in any way. It might be a calendar issue, or it might be purely a budgetary issue.
Romeo and Juliet opened last night, and you can catch the show tonight at either of the performances on Saturday.
Well, that's all the time we have for you in this installment of FDN.
Don't forget to check us out online at forresterdigital.net and follow us on Twitter at FDN_news.
Thanks again for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week.